Imagine the world is in chaos. Bad news arrives every day. Pressure never seems to end. We feel anxious, angry, exhausted. And yet, in the midst of the storm, the ancient Stoics stood calm. Not because their world was easier, but because they understood something we've forgotten. We do not control the world, we only control our thoughts and actions. Marcus Aurelius wrote in Meditations, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." To the Stoics, peace is not found outside but within. They did not chase fame. They did not crave praise. They did not fear loss. They lived simply, consciously, in harmony with nature. Epictetus, once a slave, became a great philosopher. He taught, "It's not events that disturb us, but our judgments about them." What does that mean? If someone insults you, it's just sound. The pain comes only when you allow it in, when you agree with the insult and let it poison your soul. Stoicism invites us to pause. Don't react impulsively. Stop, breathe, reflect. Is this within my control? If not, let it go. Seneca wrote, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." Our fear often comes not from what is, but from what might be, from the shadows of the future, not the truth of the present. Ask yourself, are you truly suffering now? Or are you resisting a future that hasn't happened? Stoicism doesn't mean coldness, it doesn't mean apathy, it means awareness. That life is brief, that every moment is a chance to act with wisdom. Amor fati, love your fate. Not because everything is pleasant, but because everything is a chance for your soul to grow. When you fail, practice patience. When you're rejected, practice humility. When you lose, practice letting go. To the Stoics, everything is training. So when life feels hard, don't ask, "Why is this happening to me?" Say instead, "This is my chance to test my character." Like iron forged in fire, the soul is shaped by trial, and you are not alone. The Stoic sages walked this path before you. They left behind words that still echo with truth. Close your eyes, take a deep breath. The world will move on. Troubles will come and go. But that power, the power to choose your response, that is always yours. That is the heart of Stoicism. Control what you can, accept what you cannot. Grow from everything, no matter how small. We don't choose our fate, but we always choose how we live it. You don't have to be perfect, you only have to be intentional. The Stoics never claimed to be saints, they were human. They felt anger, they knew fear. But they practiced returning to clarity, returning to what truly matters. Progress, not perfection, is the quiet mantra of the wise. You lost your temper? That's okay, now you know. Next time you pause. Next time you breathe. That is Stoicism in action, not in grand speeches, but in small, steady efforts. Stoicism isn't a shield from pain, it's a compass through it. When grief arrives, you don't deny it. You welcome it like an old friend, you let it speak, you let it pass. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." Obstacles are not to be cursed, they are the raw material for growth. So when life says no, you say good. Now I will learn strength. When someone betrays you, you say good. Now I practice forgiveness. Not because they deserve it, but because you deserve peace. When your plans fail, you say good. Now I learn how to begin again. Every loss, every failure, every disappointment is an invitation to meet your true self. The one who cannot be broken by fortune, the one who does not beg the universe to be fair, but becomes just despite it all. There is a quiet nobility in that, a strength that does not shout, a dignity that no one can take away. This is what the Stoics understood, that you don't need much to be free, you just need mastery over yourself. Don't wait for life to calm down. Train yourself to be calm within it. In traffic, in heartbreak, in uncertainty, that's where philosophy lives. Not in books, but in choices. So today, choose peace over drama, choose purpose over distraction, choose discipline over comfort. And if you fail today, try again tomorrow. Because every sunrise is Stoic in nature. It rises without complaint. It shines even if no one thanks it, it shows up, because that's what it's meant to do. So show up for your life, with clarity, with courage, with calm. And know this, you don't need the world to understand you, you don't need applause, you don't need perfect conditions. You only need the will to be a student of life, to choose wisdom when others choose noise, to walk the Stoic path, even when it's lonely. Especially when it's lonely. Because that's when your soul grows strongest. The world is loud. Everyone has an opinion. Everyone demands a reaction. But the Stoic stays still. Because stillness is not weakness, it is strength refined. Seneca once said, "If you want to escape anxiety, do not grant too much power to anything outside your control." And what is outside your control? Everything except your thoughts, your actions, your choices. You cannot control if people like you. You cannot control if life is fair. You cannot control what happens tomorrow. But you can control your character, and that, the Stoics believed, is enough. What does it mean to live well? Not to have riches, not to have comfort, but to be free. Epictetus reminds us, "No man is free who is not master of himself." If your peace depends on things outside you, you are not free. If your joy is based on approval, you are not free. If your mind is ruled by fear, jealousy, anger, you are not free. So how do you begin? With small acts, each day a little less reaction, each day a little more awareness. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." You are not your thoughts. You are the one watching your thoughts. So the next time your mind whispers panic, pause. The next time anger rises, observe. The next time you feel empty, return to the present. Most of what troubles us isn't happening. It's imagined. Seneca wrote, "He suffers more than necessary who suffers before it is necessary." Why worry about tomorrow when today is enough? Why replay old wounds when the wound has already healed? The Stoics taught, you are not what happens to you. You are how you respond. And response is a skill. It is trained. Like a warrior sharpens his blade, you sharpen your awareness. Like a musician trains the ear, you train your virtue. No one is born Stoic, but anyone can become one. Start where you are. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Use what you have. Do what you can. Epictetus said, "First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do." So what kind of person do you want to be? A person who lives by wisdom, not by impulse. A person who seeks truth, not distraction. A person who does not fear life nor death. The Stoic is not cold. He feels deeply, but he is not ruled by emotion. He is guided by principle. And in a world of noise, that is radical. So if today you feel overwhelmed, remember Marcus Aurelius's words. When you arise in the morning, think of what a precious privilege it is to be alive, to breathe, to think, to enjoy, to love. You don't need to control the world. You only need to meet the day with a courageous heart, a disciplined mind, and a soul rooted in virtue. The storm may rage around you, but you can be the quiet center. You can be the eye of the hurricane. You can walk the Stoic path. Not perfectly, not loudly, but consistently, gently, bravely, one step at a time. In a world obsessed with speed, the Stoic chooses stillness. In a culture chasing noise, the Stoic embraces silence. Why? Because the Stoic understands that everything we chase outside ourselves is fragile. Money disappears, fame fades, pleasure comes and goes. But character is eternal. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be one." This is the Stoic code. Live it, don't preach it, don't debate it, don't wait for the perfect moment to begin. The moment is now. Do you feel angry? That is your chance to practice self-control. Do you feel jealous? That is your invitation to return to gratitude. Do you feel fear? That is your moment to trust in reason and virtue. The Stoic knows, life is not about what happens. It is about what you do with what happens. Seneca reminds us, difficulties strengthen the mind as labor does the body. So don't resist hardship, don't curse your trials, welcome them. Face them, let them shape you. For who becomes strong without resistance? Who becomes wise without failure? Who becomes calm without chaos? No one. Even Marcus Aurelius, an emperor, wrote most of his wisdom alone. In a war camp, surrounded by death and unrest. And what did he say? If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it, and this you have the power to revoke at any moment. Revoking your suffering does not mean pretending it's not there. It means seeing it for what it is, temporary, powerless unless you give it power. It means asking the Stoics' question, what is up to me? That question is your compass. It will guide you through storms, through betrayal, through loss, through fear. What is up to me? My effort, my honesty, my patience, my response. That is Stoicism in action. And when you begin to live this way, something changes inside you. You stop blaming, you stop clinging, you stop chasing. You begin being present, being grounded, being responsible for your own peace. Epictetus taught, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. He was born a slave, he lost everything, but he became free. Not by escaping hardship, but by mastering himself. And you can do the same. Not by becoming perfect, but by becoming aware. Every day is training. A rude person? Training. A long delay? Training. An unexpected loss? Deep training. You were not born to avoid discomfort. You were born to evolve through it. Even in grief, Stoicism shows us the path. Seneca wrote, "The wise man is content with his lot, whatever it may be, without wishing for what he is not." It's not wrong to feel sadness, but we don't drown in it. We sit with it, we let it move through us, and then we rise. More whole, more clear, more alive. Because the Stoic way is not to deny emotion, but to keep it in its rightful place. You feel it, you face it, you flow with it, but you do not let it rule you. So now ask yourself, what kind of soul do you want to shape? One that complains or one that adapts? One that panics or one that prepares? One that judges or one that understands? One that blames or one that accepts responsibility? You always have a choice, you always have your reason, you always have your virtue. And in those, you are free. And so we arrive at the end of this reflection. But the path of the Stoic never truly ends. Because life will keep changing. Storms will rise, fortune will turn, people will come and go. But you have the power to remain steady, to remain kind, to remain clear. Because you've begun to understand what truly matters. Not control, not status, not comfort, but virtue, but wisdom, but inner peace. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Just that you do the right thing, the rest doesn't matter." And that's what Stoicism ultimately offers. Not an escape from life, but a deeper way to live it. Fully, deliberately, calmly, with strength and compassion in equal measure. So thank you. Thank you for walking this path with us tonight. Thank you for the time, the openness, the stillness you've given. May these words serve as quiet companions, in your hardest moments and in your most ordinary days. And if this voice has brought you calm, if these teachings have helped you breathe easier, grow wiser or live more simply, please consider subscribing to this channel, Stoic Wisdom. Here we walk this path together, not to be perfect, but to be present. And if you found value in this message, feel free to share it with someone who might need it. Because sometimes one quiet reminder is all it takes to change a life. Until next time, keep walking the path, stay grounded, stay free, and stay true.